Apa khabar semua? It's Kevin here. Today in this video, I'm going to teach you guys basic Malay grammar, some of the most highly requested topics, and by the end of this video, you're going to learn about pronouns, sentence structure, prepositions, verbs, tenses, and more. All this to kickstart your journey to learning a new language. Wow, look at my slides. It's pretty cool. I actually generated this using AI and it's been really helpful and fast. The first thing we're going to learn in Malay grammar is pronouns, how we address one another. Now in Malay, pronouns are relatively really simple and consistent. There's not many, mostly 5 over here that you see. The first one I'm going to start with is I, which is saya. Repeat after me, saya. Next is you. And in this case, there are 2 ways to say it, or 3, but the most common one is awak and kamu. For me, I usually prefer to say kamu because it sounds a little bit more formal or polite. Awak is, I think, a bit more casual that you say towards like your friends or close ones. I would say kamu for you. Next off is he or she. In Malay, there's actually no difference in the gender when you're describing someone. They kind of cluster together and call it dia, D-I-A, dia. What it really means is this person. So instead of saying he or she, dia is like this person. Next off, for a group, which is we, there are 2 ways to say it and it's a bit interesting. The first one is kami. Kami means we, but when you're saying in a group, it actually means we, but excluding the person you're talking to. For example, if you are approaching some groups of friends and this person says, we are going for lunch, they say, kami akan pergi makan, it means we excluding you. And if they say kita, it means all of us, including you, the one they're speaking to. So there are 2 ways to say we, kami and kita. Next off is they. In this case, they is mereka. So they is actually people that are not including of you. It's like literally another group of people. It's called mereka. So these are our general 5 pronouns that we use in Malay. Right, the next part we're going to learn is adjectives. And in Malay, adjectives follow after the noun, which is actually the opposite of English. So in your mind, you must always think that in Malay, the structure is inverted. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at some examples over here. In English, we would say the red car, whereas red is the adjective, car is the object. But in Malay, it's reversed. Kereta merah. Kereta means car and merah is red. It literally translates to car red. I know it's a little bit different, but that's usually how the structure is for Malay. Another example here is the small house. So the small house, in Malay, it means rumah kecil. Rumah is house, kecil is small. House small. Same goes for the tall tree. In Malay, is pokok tinggi. Pokok is tree, tinggi is tall. And it goes on for all the rest here. The long road is jalan panjang. Beautiful flower is bunga cantik. Bunga means flower, cantik means beautiful. Beautiful flower is bunga cantik. I know it may sound confusing at first, but keep repeating it and I think by then you'll start to realize the flow can be easily remembered. The next topic we're going to learn for basic Malay grammar is plurality. Let's take a look here at the note. In Malay, it's a bit different to describe many things of the same object, whereas you can use a trick which is to double up the words. If you have a single item, you can just say it once. For example, flower in Malay is bunga. So you just say flower or bunga, everyone knows that you're saying one flower. Or pokok, which is tree, if you just say pokok, people will think it's only one tree. The same goes for book, buku, it's one book. To make it sound like there are many of those, like a large quantity or plurals, you actually just double up the words. In this case, bunga, bunga for flowers. How fun is that? Trees is pokok, pokok. You literally take the word and you double it up to repeat. Pokok, pokok. Next is books. Repeat it twice. Buku, buku. And it goes on. Houses, rumah, rumah. And cats, kucing, kucing. Most of the case, if it's just one item, you say it once. And if it's a plural, you say it twice. Next off, we have prepositions, such as locations, time, or date. They are like the in-between connecting words. Let's look at some examples over here. The most popular ones is at, on, or in. In Malay, this is translated to di, di, di. One example is, the book is on the table. On is referring to the location of the object, on. In Malay, it would say, buku itu di atas meja. Translated to, this book is on top table. Next is to, like you're going somewhere, to. In Malay, it means ke, ke, ke. I go to school, so to is the preposition here. In Malay, it translates to saya pergi ke sekolah. Saya is I, pergi is go, ke is to, and sekolah is school. So, saya pergi ke sekolah. So you can replace the word sekolah with any other locations. Saya pergi ke rumah, house. Saya pergi ke Padang. Saya pergi ke wherever you want to go, Thailand. Remember, ke means to. The next preposition over here is from, which means where you were. And in Malay, it means dari. So example over here, I came from Jakarta. So from is the preposition over here. Came is the verb. And in Malay, it would say, saya datang dari Jakarta. Saya means I, datang is come, dari is from, and Jakarta is the place. So if you change the word Jakarta, you can actually be from anywhere else. Saya datang dari Malaysia. Saya datang dari England. The next preposition is with. In Malay, it translates to dengan. In this case, I eat with my friends. With is the preposition, the connecting piece. In Malay, you say, saya makan dengan kawan saya. Saya makan is I eat. Dengan is with. Kawan saya is my friends. If you remove the word dengan, what you will get is I eat my friends. Last but not least, we have for. And in Malay, it translates to untuk. I repeat, untuk. Let's see one example over here. This gift is for you. For is a preposition. In Malay, we would say, hadiah ini untuk kamu. Hadiah ini, it means this gift. Untuk is for, and kamu is you. So this gift for you. Is kind of like non-existent in Malay. Therefore, you would say, hadiah ini untuk kamu. For you. You can change it to something else. Untuk mereka. For them. Untuk dia. For him. For her. Or untuk saya. For me. Hadiah ini untuk saya. This gift is for me. Now let's look at something that is really important, and that is verbs and tenses. How do you know if something has happened, is happening, or has happened? We'll look at the verbs here to describe it for us. If something has happened in the past, normally in English we would say the word have or already. In Malay, it translates to sudah or telah. Sudah, telah. Present. This is when something is currently happening, which is am. It means sedang. So am is sedang. And in the future, normally you would say will. And will in Malay is akan. So remember these keywords over here. Sudah, sedang, akan. How do you use them in a sentence? I have over here one phrase in all different of the tenses. And that is eating. So let's take a look over here. Saya sudah makan. That means I have eaten. Saya is I. Sudah is have. Makan is eat. So I have eaten. The next one, which is if it's currently happening, I am eating, is saya sedang. Sedang is am. Makan is eating. Or actually eat, to be precise. So makan actually means eat. So when you use it in a sentence like this, right, the word makan doesn't change its form. It's not like English where it's like makaning or makand. It stays as makan, one form. And it's the word before it that gives you the clue when did it happen. So in this case, before the word makan, if you replace it with sudah, means it have happened. Sedang means am, is currently happening. And the next one, will eat, I will eat, is saya akan makan. Akan means will. So saya akan makan, I will eat, and this is telling people it's going to be in the future. So remember, the action itself, makan or whatever it is, minum, jalan, walk, The word itself never changes its form. It's only the tense before it that denotes the time. Let's look at another example over here. Traveling. So we have traveled. We would say kami telah. Telah is another form of have or already. Kami telah melancong. Travel. Next one is we are traveling. This is current time. So kami sedang melancong. We are traveling. Sedang is actually the form of am. But since this is plural with many people, kami, even if you say sedang, people can understand that it means to include the group. Like we are traveling, not we am traveling, we are traveling. And we will travel in the future is kami akan melancong. We will travel. So make sure to use the correct tense when you are describing an action that you are going to do, have done, or you are currently doing. Now let's see, how do we string a whole sentence together? And that is the sentence structure of Malay grammar. To simplify it, it normally goes in this flow: subject, verb, object. It's quite similar to English. Let's take a look at this example. She is cooking food. In this case, she is the subject, cooking is the verb, and food is the object. In Malay, we would say, dia sedang masak makanan. Dia means she, the subject. Sedang masak means is cooking, the verb. So it's present tense. Makanan is food. So she is cooking food. Dia sedang masak makanan. Another example over here. They like to play soccer. It translates to mereka suka bermain bola sepak. Mereka means they. Suka bermain means like to play. And bola sepak is soccer. So the flow is actually pretty straightforward. The book is interesting. So interesting here, in this case, is not the subject or object, but an adjective. Buku itu menarik. Buku itu means this book. Menarik means interesting. So this book is interesting. You're not going to say the other way around, like interesting this book. It's buku itu menarik. So there you go for the sentence structure of basic Malay grammar. It's pretty straightforward. And if you try to make it similar to English, the flow is the same, only just how you describe the adjective, it's like inverted with the noun. But other than that, it's actually pretty similar to English. And my advice is to try and study and learn all of these grammar tips I have mentioned earlier on. Practice and also read vocabulary and the dictionary. One of the hardest things among learning a language other than the grammar itself is vocabulary, learning the words itself to be translated. And that's where you try and pick up word by word slowly and try to infuse it together with this grammar. I'd like to end over here with a little bit more of example sentences. Let's see how we can put it all together. The first one, I like to eat rice. Saya suka makan nasi. Saya is I, suka is like, and makan nasi is eat rice. Over here, we have that house is big and beautiful. Rumah itu besar dan cantik. In this case, there are two adjectives to describe this house. Dan means and. Rumah itu is this house or that house. Besar means big. Dan is and cantik is beautiful. Rumah itu is that house, is big and beautiful. Over here, we have the car is red. Kereta itu berwarna merah. Kereta itu is the car, or kereta actually means car. Itu means the. The car is inverted. Berwarna merah means colored red. In this case, it just means red. But in Malay, they like to use the word warna merah. It's like colored red, so that you can tell that you're referring to the color and red is the actual color. They were playing soccer in the field. Quite a big one. Let's try it out. Mereka sudah main bola sepak di padang. Mereka means they. Sudah means previously or have. Main is play. Bola sepak is football or soccer. Di is at. Padang is field. Last but not least, I will go to school tomorrow. Saya akan pergi ke sekolah esok. Saya is I. Akan is will. Pergi is go. Ke is to. Sekolah is school. And esok is tomorrow. So when you think about it, it's almost similar to English in terms of the structure. Saya akan pergi ke sekolah tomorrow. I will go to school tomorrow. Right? Very similar to English. Alright guys, that's all for this video of my simple Malay grammar for everyone to learn and pick up. I hope this was really educational for you and you actually learned a bit of the foundations. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful for you and whether I should make more videos like this. I'm actually thinking in my mind now a follow-up to this with more slides and also visuals to help you to visualize how can you actually see the Malay grammar in contrast to English to help you to speed up your learning process. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you all next time. Bye!